What if I told you that? Like everything you experience, every outcome in your life,
Yeah.
the good stuff, the tough stuff, the whole path you're on, what if it all starts in just one place? Not out there, but inside you. It begins with the mind.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive deep into today. Our main source here is Ian Gawler's book, The Mind That Changes Everything. It's really quite something.
Ian Gawler.
Yeah.
He wasn't just an academic, right?
No, not at all. He was a decathlon athlete, a veterinarian. And he brings this incredibly unique perspective because, well, he faced this really aggressive cancer himself. And he used these exact mind training techniques we're talking about to overcome it.
Wow.
Yeah. And since then, he spent, over 30 years working directly with thousands of people, guiding them. So this isn't just, theory from a book. It's wisdom from real lived experience, decades of it.
That's why we're so excited to unpack this for you today.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to explore the inner workings of what you could maybe call the technology of the mind. We want to look at its huge potential to change your life for the better, whether that's aiming for better health or more happiness or, peak performance in whatever field you're in.
And we'll be sharing some pretty surprising facts and really compelling real-world examples that make this power undeniable.
So let's get started. Where do we begin? What is this mind we keep talking about?
Yeah, that's the foundational question, isn't it? The main idea Ian Gawler keeps coming back to is simply that everything begins with the mind.
Everything.
Everything. I mean, just think about it for a second. Look around. The chair you might be sitting in, the screen you're looking at, they didn't just, poof, appear.
Right. Someone had to think of it first.
Exactly. It started as a thought, an image, maybe an intention in someone's mind. Your next meal, the conversation you'll have later, even your next breath. It all starts with a mental impulse.
It's kind of wild when you think about it like that everything tangible, everything we do, springs from an idea.
It really is. And when we talk about the mind, it's not some abstract thing floating around disconnected. Gawler uses neurobiologist Dan Siegel's definition, which is great. He calls the mind an embodied and relational process.
Okay, break that down. Embodied.
Embodied means it's totally connected to your physical body. Yes, it's concentrated in the brain, sure, but it's not stuck there. It extends all through your nervous system, really into every single cell.
So not just the HQ in the skull, but integrated everywhere, almost like a body-wide network. That's a different way of thinking about it.
It is, and it's a really key shift. It means it's not just something fixed we have, but something we can work with, something we can change. Then there's relational.
Relational, meaning connected to other things.
Exactly. The mind doesn't exist in a vacuum. It grows and forms within relationships with the world around us, with other people, animals, nature, and, this is crucial, with ourselves.
The relationship with ourselves.
Yeah. Think about it. How you relate to yourself directly impacts how you care for your body, right? Sometimes poor eating or not exercising, it can actually be a subtle kind of self-harm coming from a difficult inner relationship.
Makes sense. And the last part, process.
Right. Process.
Yeah.
This means the mind is always in action. It's a continuous and regular action or succession of actions. It's not a static thing, a noun. It's an active verb, something you do. It's fluid, always changing, always moving.
That active verb idea really connects with neuroplasticity, doesn't it? That amazing ability our brains and our minds have to literally rewire themselves based on what we focus on, what we experience.
Precisely.
It's like you said, a kind of mental gym. We can actually train our minds for better health, for healing, for happiness.
Absolutely. Just like lifting weights builds muscle, consistently focusing, your mind builds new neural pathways. Our minds are always adapting. And here's something really interesting that ties into this. The unconscious mind, it primarily operates using imagery. Pictures, symbols, feelings. Imagery is like the bridge, the common language between our conscious awareness and that vast unconscious potential.
So imagery is the key to unlocking that potential.
It's a major key, yeah. It gives us a direct way to tap into stuff we often don't even know is there.
And this whole concept, the mind, as this active, powerful force, it really plays out in tangible ways. It can hold us back, but it can also launch us forward. Let's maybe look first at how it can kind of unconsciously limit us. Gawler shares some incredible stories.
Yeah, his own high jumping story is fascinating.
Right. He said as a kid, maybe 12 years old, he jumped 2 inches over his head at some school sports day.
Yeah.
Big deal. Made the local paper. Very emotional, vivid memory.
And then years later, he's a 6'2" decathlete, training hard, coached professionally. And what happens?
He consistently jumps 64 inches, which is exactly 2 inches over his head. He could never get past it. That childhood image, that feeling, it's somehow locked in a limit.
It's incredible, isn't it? Helpful at 12, maybe, but a total barrier later on. The mind set a ceiling based on that old, emotionally charged pattern.
It shows how these deep-seated beliefs, these old stories, can run the show without us even realizing. There was another story, Margaret, with her florist shop.
Oh yeah, Margaret. Her business was doing great, but she had this nagging inner feeling, this belief. It's all too good to be true. And what happened?
Things started to decline. That belief somehow manifested. And Ian's 1,500-meter race story, too.
Right, where he realized he was way ahead of his personal best pace.
Yeah, like 30 seconds ahead. And the instant he realized it, his body just seized up. He said it felt like crawling. He almost finished exactly on his old best time again. The belief just slammed the brakes on.
It's like the mind has these governors, these built-in limits based on past experiences or beliefs.
Yeah.
And Julia's story, that was powerful, too.
Oh, the measles in the pantry. So sad. Isolated as a child, she formed this deep belief that she was unworthy of love.
And that belief, formed way back then, just kept quietly sabotaging her adult relationships, even though consciously she really wanted connection.
These stories really hit home how our minds can, trap us. But the flip side is just as powerful, right? The way the mind can set us free, help us achieve things that seem, well, impossible.
Absolutely. That's the exciting part. Look at Debbie Flintoff-King, the Olympic hurdler. Gold medal, 400 meters.
Right. She initially struggled with visualization, didn't she?
Yeah, she said it was like watching a vague video. But she worked on it, developed new mental strategies, focused on the feeling, the words, especially for that tricky second bend. She visualized winning, visualized the gold medal over and over.
And she won by, what was it?
1/100th of a second.
100. That's, I mean, some might say, okay, but she was an Olympic athlete, trained incredibly hard. How much is visualization versus just raw talent and physical prep? Does the book get into that?
That's a fair question. And yeah, the book definitely acknowledges the intense physical training, the dedication, but it emphasizes how this inner rehearsal primes the nervous system. It's like it lays down the track neurologically, making the body ready to perform that specific action flawlessly under pressure. It's not just wishful thinking.
So it's like pre-programming the perfect execution.
Kind of, yeah. And it's not just for elite athletes. Andrew, the real estate agent who was terrified of public speaking, he used inner rehearsal too. He'd visualize giving the speech, feeling confident. When the anxiety kicked in during practice visualization, he learned to mentally step back, go to his quiet place, that peaceful refuge in his mind, calm down.
And then go back to the visualization.
Exactly. He kept doing that. And eventually, he didn't just get through his speech, he actually started to enjoy public speaking.
That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
So this mental practice, this visualization, it clearly works for performance. Does it apply to, like, physical healing too? Is the mechanism the same, or is something different going on there? How does thinking actually change physiology?
Great question. The mechanism is very similar, but the focus is obviously different. The book talks about how our brain has this sort of healing center. It regulates recovery using chemicals, these things called messenger molecules or neuropeptides.
Okay.
And here's the key bit. Positive thoughts, positive emotions, they actually boost your immune function through these chemicals. They help the body's natural healing. Negative thoughts, stress, fear, they can suppress it.
So our thoughts directly influence our immune cells.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sandy's story is such a clear example. She had breast cancer with spots, lesions on her hip and one rib.
Okay.
She focused her imagery intensely on the hip lesion, visualized healing, felt warmth there, really concentrated on it. And in 8 weeks,
It healed.
completely healed. But the rib lesion, the one she hadn't focused on, it was exactly the same, unchanged.
Oh.
Only when she started specifically visualizing the rib healing did that one also resolve.
So the mental focus has to be targeted. It's not just general positive thinking. It's specific intention directed at a specific place. That's incredible.
It really underscores the power of focused intention. And Stephen's story, the guy with the lung breakdown, doctors told him flat out, this cannot heal on its own. Impossible.
But he used imagery.
Yeah, he was already into meditation. He got a CCAT scan, looked at it, and started visualizing bricks, like tiny lung cell bricks, rebuilding the damaged area, filling in the hole.
Yeah.
3 months later, scans showed the lung had, and this is a term doctors used, spontaneously healed.
Spontaneously healed, the classic term for we don't know how this happened.
Exactly. It speaks volumes, doesn't it? And Charles, with liver secondaries from bowel cancer, he used imagery of the hands of Christ bringing heat and energy to his liver. It transformed his attitude, his hope, and he lived many years longer than expected.
And that incredibly moving story about the little boy, Nathan.
Oh, yeah. Jane and Roger's son, just 18 months old, cancer wasn't responding to treatment. The outlook was grim. They started doing healing imagery for him while he was asleep, visualizing him healthy and whole.
And he recovered.
He made a remarkable recovery, defied all the odds. These aren't just coincidences. They're examples of consistent, deliberate, targeted mental engagement supporting the body's healing capacity.
Okay, these stories are amazing, truly. But they're not just interesting anecdotes. They show there are actual principles here, things you listening can apply. So how do we do it? What are the practical techniques for training the mind?
Right, let's get into the practical stuff. Starting with goal setting, but maybe deeper than just making a list. There's a powerful contemplation exercise. Who is living my life?
Ooh, that sounds confronting.
It can be. You sit quietly and just reflect on all the influences on your choices, parents, partners, friends, media, society. It can feel like this whole committee is running your life instead of you.
I think many people can relate to that feeling.
Definitely. The book suggests some playful imagery to deal with it. Like, imagine putting all those unhelpful influences onto an imaginary bus and waving goodbye as it drives off. Or a simple drawing exercise.
The drawing exercise.
Yeah, just write me in the middle of a page. Draw lines connecting me to all these external influences, and then consciously, symbolically erase those connecting lines. It's about reclaiming your agency.
That sounds really empowering. Taking back the reins.
It really can be. Another key technique is called contemplation. This isn't just thinking hard, it's a specific process.
How does it work?
First, you do your homework, research the issue, read about it, talk to people, gather information analytically, get all the facts.
Okay, the logical part.
Right. Then, crucially, you put all that aside. You sit quietly, relax, and just let your mind be open. You shift from that analytical mode into a more receptive, intuitive state.
And wait for an answer.
Kind of. You allow insights to bubble up. Often this leads to an aha moment, a sudden clarity, a deep inner knowing about the right path forward. It just feels right.
So you're tapping into a deeper wisdom beyond just the logical brain. That sounds useful for big decisions.
Exactly. And the inner wisdom imagery exercise builds on that. You create your own inner sanctuary in your mind, your quiet place, somewhere totally safe, peaceful, just for you.
Your personal mental retreat?
Precisely. And into that space, you invite an inner guide. This could be anything, a wise old person, an animal guide, a figure from mythology, even just a feeling or a light.
And you ask it questions.
You can, yes. Ask for guidance on a problem. Seek clarity. Carrie's story is a great example. She'd experienced a serious childhood trauma. Through this exercise, her inner guide helped her realize she needed to forgive herself for being alive.
Wow, that's deep.
It totally reframed her core belief about herself, led to huge shifts in her outlook, feeling more joy, more optimism.
It's like accessing a part of yourself you didn't know how to reach before. Okay, what about changing those really sticky habits or those negative beliefs that just seem hardwired?
Yeah, that's where the white horse, red rose principle comes in. It's simple but powerful. If I say, don't think of a white horse.
You immediately think of a white horse.
Right. Trying not to do something or not to think something actually focuses your attention right on it. So the trick is...
Focus on what you do want.
Exactly. Instead of don't walk in the puddles, think keep on the dry path. You consciously, deliberately steer your mind toward the positive outcome you desire.
Makes sense. Redirect the focus.
And this ties into 3 principles of positive thinking Gawler outlines. 1, develop a really clear goal. 2, decide you'll do whatever it takes to reach it. And 3,
What's 3?
choose to enjoy doing it.
Ah, I like that one. Choose to enjoy the process, the effort. That shifts everything.
It really does. And if you're feeling stuck, unsure about your priorities, try the what if exercise.
Okay.
Imagine, just for a moment, you only have 3 months left to live. What are the 10 most important things you would absolutely want to do or achieve?
Oof. That would clarify things pretty quickly, I bet.
It's surprisingly effective. Really cuts through the noise and highlights what truly matters to you. Then there's a more structured process for deep change called the personal transformation exercise.
Sounds involved.
It has a few steps based on mindfulness. You start by clearly identifying the problem. like Anne, whose issue was an inability to say no to people.
A common one.
Very. Then you list all the disadvantages of having this problem. Easy enough. But then you list the advantages.
Advantages of not being able to say no.
Yeah, think about it. Maybe the advantage is avoiding conflict or feeling needed or being liked. There's usually some payoff, otherwise you wouldn't keep doing it, right?
Right, like the comfort of not rocking the boat, even if it burns you out. Okay.
Exactly. Then you craft an affirmation, a short, positive statement, present tense, as if it's already true. Anne worked through hers and realized the root was feeling unworthy. Her affirmation became, I am worthy of love.
Powerful.
Then you list the advantages and disadvantages of the solution of being able to say no assertively. Finally, you make a clear, conscious choice and commit to the new way of being. It's a very deliberate way to examine a pattern from all angles before choosing change.
That sounds like a really solid framework for tackling those ingrained issues. Now, when people start doing these imagery exercises, is there anything they need to do to prepare, to make them work better?
Yeah, good point. Preparation definitely helps. First, your outer environment, try to find somewhere quiet where you won't be disturbed. Maybe dim the lights, get comfortable.
Set the stage.
Right. And just as important is setting your inner environment, cultivating a state of calm openness. Techniques like the relaxation response are great for this, just sitting quietly, eyes closed, passively noticing your breath.
Letting the mental chatter settle down.
Exactly. Or progressive muscle relaxation PMR. That's where you systematically tense, then release different muscle groups throughout your body. It really helps release physical tension, which in turn calms the mind and makes it much more receptive to imagery.
So you create the right conditions, inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if, well, what if you're doing exercise and a weird image pops up? Or something scary? I imagine that stops people sometimes.
It's a really common fear, absolutely. But there are simple ways to handle it. The easiest? Just open your eyes. Usually the image fades right away.
Okay, simple escape hatch.
Yep. Or you can consciously shift your focus back to something pleasant and calming, like your quiet place image. Just gently redirect your attention.
Don't fight it, just redirect.
Exactly. But sometimes engaging with the image can be transformative. Judy's story, for instance. She kept getting this image of her grandfather during meditation. He'd been quite stern, kind of feared, and she felt disturbed by it initially.
She tried to push it away.
At first, but then she decided to sort of lean in. She mentally asked the image, what do you want? And it shifted. The feeling changed from fear to support. She realized it represented a part of her own strength.
Wow. So sometimes the scary thing isn't actually scary once you face it.
Often, yes. And sometimes the most profound approach is to just let the image run. Let it unfold without trying to control it. John's experience is amazing here.
The Indiana Jones one.
That's the one. He was this super stressed executive. In an imagery session, he suddenly found himself running through this terrifying landscape, being chased by evil trees, crossing a bridge that was falling apart, scrambling up a sheer cliff face. He felt genuine fear.
Sounds intense. Did he stop?
He wanted to, but he was encouraged to stay with it, to just observe it, let go of the fear. And as he did, the scene shifted dramatically. Suddenly he was flying like a hawk, soaring over the whole landscape, feeling this incredible sense of freedom and power.
Whoa. So going through the fear led to transformation.
Exactly. Staying with those difficult images, as hard as it can be, can sometimes lead to the biggest breakthroughs, the deepest insights about what's really going on inside.
That takes courage, but sounds incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about performance, physical healing, changing habits. The book also goes deeper into emotional and even spiritual healing, right? This healing the heart idea.
Absolutely. And a huge part of that is forgiveness. It's vital, though, to understand what forgiveness is not.
Okay, what isn't it?
It's not saying what happened was okay. It's definitely not forgetting. And it doesn't mean you suddenly have to be best friends with the person or situation again.
So what is it then? Why is it often so hard?
It's hard because, well, we're often taught forgiveness should be conditional. I'll forgive you if you apologize or if things change. But true forgiveness, the kind that really liberates you, is unconditional.
Ah, so it's primarily for your own benefit, to release your pain.
Precisely. It's like you're holding onto a burning coal, hoping the other person gets hurt, but you're the one getting burned. Forgiveness is choosing to drop the coal for you.
That makes sense.
Dawn's story, a friend of Ian's. She was literally on her deathbed, very weak, and suddenly realized she needed to forgive her father. He'd been abusive, died years ago, estranged. It was this unresolved burden.
And she did.
She just said, very peacefully, oh yes, that would be easy. And then she passed away calmly. It was like the final piece needed for peace. The book offers a really simple, potent practice for this. Just 4 phrases. You repeat, maybe focusing on the person or situation. I forgive you. Please forgive me. I thank you. I bless you. Even if you don't feel it at first, repeating these phrases can gently open the door to release.
I forgive you. Please forgive me. I thank you. I bless you. Simple, but sounds profound. What about compassion?
Compassion is described as more than just feeling sorry for someone. It's an active determination to alleviate suffering. It has an energy to it, an urge to help, to connect.
How do you cultivate that?
Practices like loving-kindness meditation are key. You systematically send feelings of warmth, kindness, and well-wishing first to yourself, then loved ones, then neutral people, then difficult people, and finally to all beings. It expands your circle of care. Another way is walking in the other's shoes. Really taking time to contemplate someone else's life, their struggles, their perspective, trying to feel what it might be like for them. It builds empathy.
Moving beyond yourself. And Tonglen, you mentioned that briefly.
Yes, Tonglen is a more advanced practice from Tibetan Buddhism. It's quite profound. You intentionally breathe in the suffering of others, their pain, fear, anger, visualizing it as dark smoke, perhaps.
You take it in.
Yes. And then, as you breathe out, you send out your own happiness, peace, healing, light, transforming the suffering within yourself and offering relief. It's a powerful practice for dissolving ego and cultivating deep, active compassion.
Wow, that sounds challenging, but potentially life-changing. Okay, lastly, let's touch on invocation and manifestation. Manifestation is a word we hear a lot. What does it mean in this context?
Here, manifestation literally means making something obvious, making it tangible. It's the process of taking an intention, an idea that starts in the mind, and bringing it into physical reality.
Like wishing for things.
It's a bit more grounded than just wishing. Ian Gawler shares examples like how he developed a reliable method for manifesting car parking spaces when he really needs one.
Practical magic.
Sort of. Or, more significantly, how crucial funding for a trip to India appeared right when he needed it during his cancer journey, after he focused his intention on it.
So it applies to small things and big things.
Absolutely. The book lays out a 9-step process for manifestation. A key point is differentiating between a genuine, heartfelt need versus just a superficial want driven by ego or greed. Pure motives are important.
Gotcha. Needs versus wants.
Yeah.
And giving thanks is part of it too.
Yes, gratitude is crucial. And a core practice that connects to all of this healing, energy, manifestation is the white light imagery exercise.
White light.
Yeah, it's fundamental. You visualize pure, brilliant white light representing purity, energy, healing flowing into your body. You can do it with the breath, imagining breathing it in, or just visualizing it flowing down through you like a radiant shower.
What's the purpose?
It's seen as a way to purify your energy system, boost vitality, create balance, heal, and connect you to a deeper spiritual source or reality. Very versatile, very powerful.
So it really brings everything together using the mind's focus to energize, heal, create, connect. From parking spaces to profound spiritual connection.
Precisely. It's about learning to consciously direct that inner energy and intention in all parts of your life.
Well, wrapping this up, it seems incredibly clear from everything we've discussed.
Yeah.
The mind is just extraordinarily powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
And like you said earlier, maybe a double-edged sword. It can build these invisible walls, limit us through old beliefs, cause suffering, but it also holds this immense power for creation, for profound healing, for transformation.
Exactly. And while our history, our conditioning might have set certain limits, the really hopeful message here is that it's not fixed. We can actively train our minds. We can reprogram those patterns using techniques like the ones we've talked about. That's the key to freeing ourselves, opening up possibilities we maybe couldn't even imagine before. It reminds me of that story from one of Ian's workshops. The man who was meditating, focusing on the gaps between his thoughts. And he suddenly felt like he passed through this fog and experienced this direct sense of oneness. All is one. One is all, he said. Imagery, focus, these mind practices, they can ultimately be a pathway back to understanding our true nature, our essential self.
A pathway back to our essential self. That's a powerful thought to end on. So maybe the question for you listening is this. What hidden potentials within your own mind are just waiting there, waiting to be unleashed? And how might you, starting today, begin to actively train it to transform your world?